what's your philosophy around priority picks? I'll go straight away.
Oh, look, I think it's something that's available in the system, and quite simply, we're aligned that we're in a position we think that we can apply for it, and then the AFL look at it and they decide. So that's where it's at the moment. We're in a rush to get better, and if it's a way that we can get better, we're willing to look and apply for it.
What would you sort of like to get there? Because the probably most obvious comparison is North Melbourne, and it was in the first round, but this year that might be into the 30s with all the academy bids. Would you like to see a sort of mid-first round pick?
Yeah, it's you're right in saying the compromise draft that the picks will slide this year. That's looking like it's really significant. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I'm not involved in that. I haven't been involved in the actual application. I've been across it, but not involved in it. So I'm not sure the answer to it. We'll just apply and see where it lands.
Is there any way of you telling us what it means to have an extra pick like that, or an extra draft concession to a coach? How important would it be?
Yeah, I think it's like we're in a rush to get better, and historically the ways to get better are draft, trade, free agent, and priority pick. That's part of the rules of makeup. So we need to explore all the options we can, and whatever it lands as, whether it's more picks, a high pick, a pick wherever, if it's an opportunity for us to get better, we'll take it.
We've seen clubs get picks that then they're told they have to trade. Do you think you'd benefit from bringing more senior players in that way?
Potentially, for sure. We're looking at that as well. That's an option. I think we've said it really publicly. We're open to every avenue, and it will be draft this year that we'll target, and we'll also target trade and free agency.
There's, I guess among a lot of fans, there's a thought that West Coast is such a powerful club that you guys have the resources to dig yourself out of it, extra resources for coaching and whatnot. What's your opinion about that?
Well, I think it's really clear that there's soft cap, salary cap, TPP. Like it's irrelevant, the position of the club there. So we're just looking at it from the performances of the last 4 years and the history of what priority picks get given for. We think we qualify, so we've applied for it.
What about now, just Harley Reid's situation, going back now already? Can you just talk us through that? I'm not saying it's good or bad, but what was your thinking there, allowing him to go back to Victoria now?
Oh, so we do that with all of our players. So Harley's not going to play again this season, and he's this week of rehab. It's not going to be much. He's in a moon boot still. So when you get an opportunity to send players back to their home states, we always support that. So Hales is in that position. Bo Allen went back to his home in Mandurah when he hurt his ankle last week. So that's common practice for us, and we support it.
Is that for the rest of the season, though?
No, it won't be for the rest of the season. So he'll come back next week and start his rehab process.
How's your 666 knowledge?
Yes, well, hopefully better than what was achieved at the end of the game last week. It was a bit of confusion around though, wasn't there? So it's interesting. We need to. It's not something that comes up a lot. Pretty freak circumstances of what happened at the end of that game last week. So.
On a serious note, though, what are you expecting from Melbourne? Because I've been smarting all week about that. Yeah. So Bays and I both worked at the D's, and I can tell you that they're a proud group. They're a proud coaching group and playing group, and they'll be really disappointed with the way that game finished last week. So we expect them to be their fiercest at the start of the game on the weekend. How did your ruck department faring? You've got a big challenge this week, Max.
Yeah, Gorney's one of the best rucks probably to ever play the game. So we appreciate how big a challenge it is, but there's the ruck battle and there's also the midfield battle that comes with it. So we've got to have plans for both, and we've done that this week.
Chess are coming in?
Chess is going to play. I think Elijah broke the news last night, which is, look, it's great. Chess is, he's had some challenging years, and he's been able to build a platform of 8 or 10 games of waffle football, and giving himself a chance to finish off the year really strongly. So, he gets his opportunity, which is exciting.
What did he have to do to convince you that he was right to go there?
So there was a period where he just had to play. That was important for him, just to string some games together. And then, when he started mid-year, he hadn't played under the way that we're playing our wing role at the moment. So he's learnt that, he's improved in that understanding of the game, and it was a bit about continuity and then building up his form from there.
And he's crossed a chance as well. It's a very young midfield now.
Yep, and that's what we've got. So Crossy will be a chance for sure. He's been in great form in the waffle the last 3 weeks, clearly been above the level. So we're going to have to work out how that fits and how we can complement some of our young players. Tim, I thought, played his best game probably for the year last week through the midfield, so that was good to see. And we expect the same from him this week.
Just more on that midfield battle, I guess, without Reid, being without Yo or no Jack Graham as well. How do you go about filling those holes? Because they're pretty massive.
Yeah, they are, and it's not easy, but it's been for most of the year. So we've seen great growth. We've seen Elijah Hewitt grow. We've seen Brady Hoff grow. We've seen Clay Hall come and play through the midfield. So sometimes when you put in a position where we have been, it's not been short-term benefit, but it will be long-term benefit.
Harry Edwards, is he clear to come back?
Yeah, so he completed training yesterday and looks like he'll be good to go, which is great news for us.
Daisy, you were a practice match recently. Can you tell us what you learned about the group and how you place?
A bit like Minnie just said there, we had a number of players out that are working their way back, with Ella Roberts, Ali Drennan, Bella Lewis all missing from our midfield group, but the beauty of that was that we got to see Kaylee Kavanagh, who was drafted last year but missed the season with an ACL, Lou Painter, we drafted with our first pick this year, Abby Bushby and Courtney Rowley, who have been on our list for a couple of years as mids, but to see those four have full opportunity and exposure against a really experienced, mature lineup that Freo put out there was great, and they competed really well and held their own. So that was a good opportunity for them, their development, but gives us great reassurance going into the season that we're starting to build some depth in there now, and that we're going to have competition for spots. So it's such a healthy spot to get to and what you need to become a good team. So that was pleasing. And also we've put a lot of work into our team defence. Last year we were a very sort of effort-based one-on-one defence, whereas we've put a bit of work into the way that we defend as a team, not just to stop goals, but so that we win it back. We're in better areas of the ground and we can score back the other way. So that was pleasing to see that come to life for probably 3/4 of the game to good effect, and as good teams do, we got punished when it wasn't on. So it was good feedback and a good audit of when we do it well, we're going to be hard to score against, but when we don't, the reasons why we do it are obvious. But the add-on for this week that we're really going after is, naturally when you put time into your defence, it can stifle the focus on your offence a little bit. So now, when we are winning it back in those areas, how do we go a bit quicker at the game and score ourselves and bring a bit of energy to what we're trying to do with the ball? So it was a good practice match in terms of what we've been going after and what we now need to work on.
The three players you mentioned, are they going to be right to play this weekend?
Yeah, so Ella Roberts, Ali Drennan will come back in, as will Jess Wrench. So Wrenchy had gone home for a family matter, but she played in our backline last year. She'll move up into our midfield this season. She's been training really well. So those three will come back. Bella Lewis more likely round one, so she won't play any practice match minutes this week. She's been working her way back from an ankle she got early in the pre-season, but starting to look pretty promising and exciting to have her back out on the track, and should be good to go for round one.
Second year as coach, where are you at now tracking as to last year, the same stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really exciting to come in, having built some relationships with players and understand what motivates them, what makes them tick, what their strengths are, those kind of things. But as much as that, our coaching group and staff as well, like to understand where their passions and strengths lie, and where you can let them go and do their work and focus my energy where it's best suited. That's been a good platform to start from. And the team itself, we laid down a good foundation of sort of belief and belonging last year, and now we've been able to get to work on the actual system side of things. So we've seen great growth in our fundamentals under pressure. That was a big focus in our off-season, and then our team defence, like I said. So to be able to just build on our understanding and the platform that we laid last year has been a positive thing. I can see we've gotten better. Now it's just a matter of hoping it's better than everyone else has, because the comp's at a stage where developmentally everyone improves every off-season, whether that's athletically because of another pre-season in a high-performance environment, or the draftees that are coming through now. I mean, we had 4 picks in the draft, and all of them would have put their hand up for selection early in the season. Like, I wouldn't discount them all day by doing in round one, just because of where the game's at in that pathway competition. So it's so exciting and it makes us better, but I'm sure every club is feeling that as well. So our challenge is to just keep working hard and turning up and being impatient and wanting to get better quicker, like Minnie said.
You mentioned Wrench. You've been quite impressed with her, obviously, in the build-up in the pre-season.
Yeah, as much as what she does on the field as the way she carries herself off field. I mean, she's a young pro. She's in her second season. She's very diligent with the way she attacks her program, treats herself like a professional athlete, but she doesn't forget to have fun and bring the energy and have a bit of a laugh as well. So they're crucial to the environment, young players like that. Then she goes out there and she competes like her life depends on it. Sometimes in the first few drills of the training session, but I'd prefer to see that than to have to bring it out in someone. So yeah, she really sets the tone. She missed a week last week and then came out in a bit of match sim yesterday and just asserted herself with the way she hunts the footy and tackles. So yeah, we couldn't get enough of players like that in our side.
And a good tanker, a very good runner as well.
Renchi?
Yeah.
She's worked on her running. She's got great speed. Her endurance and her ability to keep going through a game has probably been something that she's worked really hard in the off season, as have a number of our players. We got a new high performance manager come in this year, which has meant whereas our previous high performance managers become our full time in strength. So that resourcing has been able to has enabled us to like individualise our programs a lot more. So we've gone after that, and having someone like Dana Hooker come back in has been important as well. Had her second child. She played waffle after 3 months, and she'll go through our wings now. So played a full game on the wing with one rest on the weekend. Just her running abilities really added to that the capacity of our group as well.
Less pressure not having to be captain as well. Is that something?
With Emma Swanson.
Dana, yeah.
Yeah, Dana is in our leadership group, and to have her experience back out there has been important as well. And then we've elevated new co-captains in Charlie and Bella, who have been outstanding. Another couple of young pros, like I said. But yeah, Swanee will be Swanee regardless of whether she's got a title or not. She selflessly kind of took on the role going back last year, and will be a really important defender for us this season. But she's a great support to Charlie and Bella. I mean, Bella's 22, Charlie's 21. They're young captains, so they need someone like Swanee continuing to do what she does in the leadership space, and that's what we've seen.
In terms of AFLW as a whole, 10th season now, it's been great to see the growth of it, but I'm also concerned that it's losing 50 million a year. Just curious to get your thoughts on where it's all at, and that figure in particular, did that concern you?
No, it doesn't concern me. I mean, as quickly as possible, us involved in it and that are passionate about it want to do what we can, and I'd say we are doing what our role in it to make it commercially viable and to be profitable. But in the meantime, I think it adds great value to the AFL landscape. I think if you look at things like the participation numbers in women's footy since the advent of AFLW, there's hundreds of thousands more AFL customers that are engaged and going to support the game at every level now that AFLW is here. So the number it's being invested in AFLW is one thing, but if you look more broadly than that, I think even now the value it's bringing back sometimes gets lost in the equation. And that's not to mention the fact that any startup, if you compare it to that, it's probably naive to think it's going to be profitable straight away. It does take some investment and some time, and that's what the AFL is doing really well.
What are some of the things you'd like to see implemented to help grow the game even more?
Oh, I think continued investment in the pathways is critical to adding to the talent pool and the product, but that's happening. So now we wait and see, and that's what we're seeing. Like Lou Painter came to us this year, our first pick. She'd be in the top 5 for our runners and our strength numbers, just given the exposure she's had to high performance programs and the mindset of these kids that are now aspiring to play in an elite competition. As opposed to someone like from my generation, I was playing because I loved it and I wanted to be better than my brother and I wanted to be the best that I could be, but there wasn't really something to chase, whereas they've got that now. So you just get an athlete that's just completely different and ready to go. So that investment in players like that is going to make our competition better, and it's happening. I mean, if you love footy and you come and watch us on round 1 Thursday night at Leaderville, you will love watching Ella Roberts play footy. So come and watch her play. Aside from that, the pathways, I think the investment in coaching is another big thing. If you want to develop the competition and the players as quickly as you can, they need good coaching. I'm the only full-time coach in our program. We've got another coach who's full-time at the club but split across multiple roles. The rest are part-time. They're firefighters, they're teachers, they work at the WA Footy Commission. So to fast-track the development of our players once they get here, I think that's the next step for the game. The professionalism of the players is increased through the CBA and the work through the AFL Players Association. The next step through coaching.
And no games at Tier 1 stadiums. What are your thoughts on that? And also the double headers, did you like that concept in the past, or do you like the standalone games better?
I think a mixture of both is good. I think the opportunity to kind of be a club and go out and present to your fans as the two teams is positive. But I also think that the different offering of being able to be in a boutique stadium where it is a bit more of an intimate feel and that atmosphere is good. So I think a combination of both works. And then with the double headers, I understand there's some challenges logistically with change rooms and that kind of thing, but I think there's a way around it with good planning and a blend is good. Games in stadiums, I think, when they're fixtured and promoted right, I think they are good for the game.
The Derby is probably one example. I think fans love seeing that off this. What did you think about that?
We'll play the Derby wherever we have to play the Derby. We'll look forward to it, but bring it on if there's an opportunity to play it in a big stadium in front of a big crowd.
I remember you saying at the start of this year that you see the game similarly as coaches, or you're both quite similar as coaches. Has there been much crossover in the way that you work or crossover with your programs?
Yeah, the beauty of West Coast is with this facility you can share and you can organically spend time together. Everywhere else I've been, you had to intentionally avoid each other's programs to be able to make it work because there's one oval, one facility, whereas we can have a main training session on the same day and stagger our schedule slightly and both be here. So that allows for hallway conversations and crossover, which is great. And then I think it'll be great. I'm really excited to work with Minnie over the next few years, like being mindful of him in his first season and all that it entails. But yeah, can't wait for our season first, but then to continue to build that relationship with Minnie in my next off season so that I can develop myself, help out however I can, and just keep bringing our programs closer and closer together.
I think from my point of view, I'll just probably jump in there. It's like Daisy has finished her first year now, had a second pre-season, and I will really look to use Daisy resources to what she learned over that period, because I think it's a really critical point for me coming up as well. So if we can share some experiences there, I'll be certainly looking at Daisy to try and learn something from what she was able to do this off-season and pre-season.
What do you mean by that, Minnie? Critical point coming up, what do you mean?
Just with where we're at as a team and a club, like we have to get better really quickly. So if there's something I can learn from Daisy coming into her second season as coach, I'll look to learn it and implement it, because it's going to be a really critical period for our club over the next 6 to 12 months.
Just one more on your midfield. You moved Tom McCarthy in there.
Yeah, so we tried it for a quarter, maybe about a month ago. So Tom was drafted as probably a mid halfback, but he's played halfback in our team. So we're certainly open to it. The challenge with Tom is he's been so good for us down back. So it's a bit like what we do with Liam Baker. We rob Peter to pay Paul every week with Bakes. We need him in our back line, midfield and forward line, and we've got to choose where we think we can best resource him each week, and Tom's a little bit the same as that. So it's a potential for us.
How big a fake is Cozzy Pickett?
Very. Yeah, he's pretty good at footy, Coz. And I think you saw the Saints last week, full tag, really until the last quarter. Because he's building his game. Coached him last year. He predominantly played as a forward with a little bit of midfield time. He's playing a lot of midfield at the moment. So, yeah, we've got plans in place for Cozzy. He's one of the most damaging players in the competition.
Craig McRae said during the week sort of openly that he'd met with Jack Silvani. I'm not trying to trip you up here, but have you
Sounds like you are.
Have you met with players? Is this the time of year where you start to proactively seek that to bring guys across to your club as well?
Yeah, so for me, I won't speak about that. I don't think it's appropriate to speak about other players at other clubs. I think everyone knows that things happen all the time, but I'll never speak individually about players from other clubs.
Thank you.
Good
job.
Can I just have one more, Daisy? Sorry, self-interest. I know you take a lot of interest in the Waffle W. Are you being encouraged by what you've seen? You've got some of the girls playing and training with you at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that the Waffle W is similar to AFLW with the increase in resourcing and the amount of players coming up underneath it. The standard's only improving all the time. Our indicator of that is, like you said, we get 10 train-ons come in and support our squad numbers so that we can play some match sim. They've been here for about 8 weeks now, 10 of them coming and giving up their Wednesday to improve their own footy, but to help us through match sim. And the standard of those players has improved a lot, which has been great for our players to see and go up against as well.